I think it's just now 7 o'clock. I had to move where I was set up because it just wasn't working. Over to my dining room table. And I think this is going to be just fine. I might need to wait a few minutes for some people to come. I did finally post this time on Instagram. I'm on Instagram if you didn't know. I've been away from there for a while because there was so much involved in posting. You don't need as many hashtags anymore, is what I'm being told. And I just remembered I forgot to put any hashtags at all. I know, I don't have a chair for you. Okay, come here. You want to be on the camera? Okay, there she is. There she is. And then I posted on my Casting Cauldron Facebook page. And then I posted on my community post here on YouTube. That's a lot for me. Yay! Woo! Social media marketing, guys. If I didn't love what I'm doing, I would have given it up a long time ago. I just can't stop. I'm basically an occultist, you know. I've said I'm a mystic. I am. I've recently learned that. I'm a mystic. Do you want to jump up on my lap? Come on. And practicing magical practitioner, psychic, medium work. I work in my own way. And tonight I thought I would show you my little mini haul. Let's see if I can see what time it is. 7:02. I think I came on here exactly at 7. Now I'm looking at my lavender herb on the coffee table. I need to go grab that. Stepping over the cord. All right. I wonder what people are doing on Sunday night. I recently had the most visitors and replay views of a live I've ever had. I started doing lives about 2 years ago. I think 2 summers ago. Then I stopped for a little while. Then I came back on again last summer. Okay. It's 7:03. I don't know if you've seen my previous video or not, but I thought I would show rather than just talk and tell. I've demonstrated some of my candle magic workings, the readings left over. Hi! From the candle wax, and how remarkable they have been recently. And I talked a little bit about why it might be happening. I've gone from water scrying to fire scrying, and I'm carving my personal name or somebody else's name into the candle, thereby naming the candle as that person, similar to doing head work. But you know, the skull is really got its limitations. I have added it on the side to workings that I have done with a candle, because there's just so many things that you probably wouldn't even maybe know that you can do with a candle, especially as you hone your your practice of meditation and focusing, practicing magic, first at a sacred space for a while. You could take a pen, and imagine that this is the mouth of the person that I wish to stop saying really nasty things to me with a smile on their face. Okay? You could put a pin where you think their arms might be, or a pin where you think their eyes might be. Now, this is not for beginner, but maybe when you're intermediate to advanced. And down here at the feet, you can put pins to pin their feet. But I work magic primarily to reverse negative and stagnant conditions. Really, magic is supposed to be about clearing a path. Hello. Welcome back. And you say hi or give your name. I put myself in a place here where I can actually see once again what people are saying in the chat. I didn't want it to be too far away. I'm talking about magic is the art. It's not an exact science, but it is the art of making things happen, okay? Influencing things to happen, to change. And really it's supposed to be for the better. This universe is energy. And you can either use it for selfish, negative purposes, which should really be telling you about yourself. What does that say about you? Obviously, it depends on the situation, but you want to really remove stagnant or negative energies first before you're going to do any type of working for prosperity, abundance, money, job, raise, or love. What else is there? You need to have not only a clear path around you, but clarity of mind. For example, if you wanted to start working on opening a road for a new romance or a new prospective significant other, you might need to actually clear whatever residual energies might be around you or inside of you subconsciously about your previous relationship. Some people recommend that you should be alone for probably 9 months to a year before you venture out into another situation. So this can help to remove negative energies related to that. This is basically chaos, because we have either chaos or we have peace. We have negativity or we have positivity. And we have to clear out the chaos or the negativity so that we can have a clear path and then sit down and define what it is that we really want. We can only know what we want, I think, by experiencing the things that we have gotten into that we don't like. It's like trying a car, right? I used to rent cars from time to time to go out of town to powwow, and we would talk about all of the features while we were driving. Oh, this one has dual climate control, heated seats, electric seat, whatever. And we would take note of it. What do we like? What do we think is kind of missing? Well, I could use more leg room, or, I don't really like hot, sticky leather seats, things like that. And so by trying different cars each time that we traveled out of town, we would get a really clear idea of what we would like to go and look for. And one day we had rented a Dodge Neon, and we just really liked it. We thought, you know what? This little thing is pretty great. It was comfortable, had fabric seats, had a lot of the things we were looking for. As it turned out, probably about a year later, I ended up finding one at a dealer out of town. And we went over there and we drove it, and it was in good shape. And so rather than a jalopy, that looked like it was used, it looked kind of new. And we made an offer, got a good price, negotiated for cash, took our tax return money, and they offered to pay for the tax and the license. And we drove that little car to death, back and forth here and there several times a day. I was like a soccer mom. But yeah, I mean, what did the title of this live say? Demonstration, return to sender. Okay, how, why, and when to use it. All right, so for my mini haul, I went to the local Botanica. Shout out to 4 Lunas Botanica. It's a beautiful little shop. This is a big city now. It's not a small town. It's not a small city anymore. It is not. But it's very conservative. There's like a church on every corner. So there's really not a lot of shops that offer incense or oils or, sage, or just a variety of things. We now have, of course, the CBD shops with, I think we might even also have a medical THC shop. I don't know where that is. But this is really the only Botanica shop that I've seen that has such a wide variety of things, right? Statues, oils, books. So give them some love. They have a website, and there's quite a lot of things available on the website. But if you don't see something, you can call them. 4 Lunas Botanicas. They don't even know I'm doing this. Hi. You're number 1. Carlo. 6321, I think it is. What's poop? What's going on here? Are you on the wrong channel? Number 1 Pro, let's what? Let's go. What is poop? What are you saying? Why did you say that? Because if you're going to be negative or you're just trying to get attention, I can block you. So either leave or explain yourself. I was looking for some red sandalwood, which is kind of hard to find in this town. And I found some in a package. So I got that. I was also looking for Damiana. I have a project I'm working on. The word poop is inherently funny. Okay, can we stick to the topic, please? I do have guidelines, and even though I haven't mentioned it, I really do want people not to stop by because they're bored. I do want them to be interested in the subject matter and stick to the subject matter. So I got some Damiana for a project I'm working on. If you don't know, I have oils. I made an Etsy shop a few years ago. And over the summer, I started creating a lot more oils. And I do have, they're listed on my creator page, Ko-Fi, Coffee, K-O-F-I. So right now I have all of these formulas and bottles in here. But they are all listed. I think I have a dozen, maybe 13, for anointing your candles. So back to what I was talking about. You first want to work to, even just in case, right? Eliminate negativity. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. God bless. Namaste to you too. All right, maybe you'll really be interested in this subject matter here. What we aim to do is clear out a path so that we can really work on getting the right thing to come to us for money, job, raise, and then of course romance. So if you clear away negative energies from yourself and previous relationship issues, then you can sit down and define what it is that you want. Like I said, I rented cars so that I could decide the features I liked and the features I didn't like. And this is when it's kind of hard when you're young. But one of the things that I think everybody really should, may I say, write down is high caliber. What's wrong with that? Someone who has a sense of self-esteem and self-confidence. Of course, they're gainfully employed. They are balanced emotionally. And these are qualities that I hope you're working on for yourself as well. It's like a recipe for success, right? So, in order to do that, you would start with traditionally a black candle, all right? Now, this is a very tall one, but it's good because then it's going to burn longer and deal with energies. Now, when we're talking about return to sender, we're talking about environmental energies, not the energies that are in your home or on your person. That would be a personal cleansing and uncrossing. So, and I don't know, what you're dealing with, but in the subject of return to sender, such as with the double action candle, which I'll talk about in a minute, you're dealing with the environmental. So let's say you've been clearing yourself and examining the past relationship, and you want to define what it is that you want. And you've been doing your spiritual cleansing, okay? Maybe you're putting waters and flour and you're pouring that over you in the shower, after your shower, while you're sitting in a bath with flowers for a little while. You have whatever it is that you've been doing. Maybe you're smudging with sage. Maybe you're smudging with oud. That shop I went to yesterday actually has royal oud incense sticks. I'm going to try it. Or even essential oils in a diffuser to help clear out your space. Some people use Florida water to clean their kitchen floor or pine sol. This is also very good for getting rid of and keeping out negative, chaotic energies. So you've done your house cleaning, you've done your personal cleaning, you put salt outside your front door, back door, windows, and you sealed off the house. But let's say there are some negative energies lingering around you from, believe it or not, there's people that can be jealous of you for whatever reason, hate you, resent you, all of these kinds of negative, chaotic energies that have come towards you. And depending on how strong this person has with their emotions, they could be focusing every day. And that can kind of create a pool of energy. It can be sent to you, right? Like an energy ball. For example, excuse me, your car gets broken into. Okay, maybe something's taken, maybe it isn't taken. And then within 5 days, it's broken into again. There's a lot of other cars on the street or in the parking lot, but your car is the only one that got broken into in this particular little area with all these cars. And you know you locked it. Okay, so a week later, you know you locked your car for sure this time, and it gets broken into again. I lived in a neighborhood that had a bloody history from many, many, many years ago. And people would have a party at the corner in their house and get very loud and drunk. And then they drove down the street and one of them threw their beer bottle out and right at the window of my car that I had to park on the street. And I had just purchased the car. And they didn't know me, but they definitely wanted to break a window, or they would have thrown it at an empty space right to a yard. Let's say that happens to you. Your car's gotten broken into, and then you get your car window repaired. You've had to spend money for that. And then a week later, or less, you have a flat tire. This is a pattern, all right? This is like a string of bad luck. This is because there's either leftover chaotic energy in that neighborhood. Maybe it was just concentrated on the corner of the block at that house, but it was my entire block at that time. I lived in a haunted apartment house. Severely haunted. Okay? I had not really practiced enough magic at that time to do what I'm going to show you tonight. All right? And just in the same way, I put a return to sender up on my Ko-Fi last year. I'm going to do it again. I'll tell you why. When you are going through the anxiety of this type of disruption in your life, you don't really have the calm nervous system to focus. If you do, and you finally get yourself to a place where you can sit down, focus and relax for at least 20 minutes. Then you would take a black candle first, because we've got to absorb all that negativity. Take it into the black candle. That's your intention. You hold it. You say, I name this candle to take in the negativity or banish it. And you're going to write on here. And you can go from top to bottom. So as it's burning, you can write words like chaos, negativity, hate. If you know someone is like talking bad about you at work, you can write slander. If there's that kind of stuff going on at work, you would write, oh, hi. Yeah, I'm an occultist. Okay, I thought my title would make it a little clearer. This message was held for review. Oh, I wonder who it's being reviewed by. Okay, I have here. Somebody else is here. Hello, hello, hello. Dan? Oh my God. I was just searching the web for similar spells. Okay, and I just ordered a bunch of black candles. Are pretty seeds good to use? Poppy seeds. It depends. It depends on what your problem is and what you're wanting to do. Can you share what you're trying to do? Because I'm here to do that tonight and to demonstrate. I can't stand up, okay? I have to sit here and demonstrate what I'm going to do. Turn around. What? I don't know if you're in the right place. All right. The one who was asking me about the seeds. All right. I don't know why I'm getting these types of people. I don't have Gemma here to be a moderator right now. She was my moderator before. I'm trying to confuse a group of people from sending negative energy towards me. I would say that's probably difficult. You know what? Why don't you just focus on return to sender? That's what I'm wanting to talk about tonight. That's what my title is. You're welcome. Okay, the person who says do a flip, you're on the wrong channel. Please don't make me waste my time blocking you or reporting you. Equinox Studio, hello. Bradley. Kickflip? No. No. All right. You need to go to another channel. Returning to sender is the easiest thing for you to do because even if you know the group of people, you're dealing with a group. And that's sort of like trying to do an uncrossing. So it's kind of like having to deal with one at a time and try to have them start fighting or whatever, right? To disband the group. Brother? I don't know. You know, I would say to do what I'm going to be demonstrating tonight. Bradley, please go away. You know, I don't want to have to go back here later. A couple of people working against you. Okay, so you know that there's chaotic energy coming towards you. Thank you. I'll stay and watch. You know, you've got a group of people sending chaos to you. All right. So you're going to carve on here, my enemies. All right. Are you a beginner? Are you fairly new to using your thoughts in order to protect yourself and change things in this way? Someone's holding the messages for review. I wonder who it is. You're going to take a tall black candle, take a tool to carve, my enemies. You can write the word group. You can write known and unknown, right? Keep turning the candle, keep carving into it. This is powerful, okay? Your subconscious mind is putting those thoughts and desires into this candle, like naming this candle, almost like baptizing it, okay? I'm not a beginner, but I feel what you mean. Area of workers and things come back to me. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Sorry. All right. Thank you. thoughts are energy, and that's what I've been saying for almost 8 years. I learned it because of what I was going through personally in my life. So we're going to direct our thoughts like, an arrow in a thing that you shoot arrows to. Focus is how that's going to happen. My enemies, known and unknown. Take your time. Group. How about the word disband? And then I think that would probably be enough. Because the red part is going to be for sending back. This one is for going away. So you can put an arrow going down because that's going to direct again your thoughts to catch and absorb all of those thoughts that's coming from those people. Then you're going to light it up. Well, you can anoint it. I have banishing oil that, it serves me extremely well. And I have bottles that I can put it in. If you go to my website, you can see there are ingredients in here that are extremely helpful for doing that. And let's see. Where is it? Can't see where it is at the moment, but yeah. All right. Now, you're going to light that on the bottom and then stick it on a plate. This is a candle plate. Light the bottom, stick it on that candle plate. I forgot my lighter. And then, of course, we want to practice candle safety. We want to stay close to it. All right. Now, if you wanted to add anything around the bottom, which I generally don't, because lately I've been having messages left behind in the candle wax by spirit. Very, very interesting. The unknown. Yes, the unknown is important. That's what the occult means. We're born into a world with a veil. And if we can get to the point where we realize we need to lift that veil, we need to start seeing beyond the naked eye, all of these things. Do we visualize anything specific? You can. Absolutely. You can. You can visualize these people turning away from one another and just not being interested anymore, right? They're bored. Visualize. Hello. I've got lots of people here. This is great. I don't visualize anymore. I think if I do, it's probably, I use my emotions. I just really pour my heartfelt desire into my working as I'm doing it, especially as I'm anointing. When you anoint, you're amplifying what it is that you just wrote in that candle. You want to go from top to bottom because that's what the arrow is that you drew. Taking it in, black candle, thank you. Absorb it. Take the chaos in. We need to restore order in our life for peace. And you can use just one oil. I sometimes use 2. If you sprinkled anything around the bottom, I would say I would probably use patchouli if I had dry patchouli. But here is lavender. And I'm not so sure. I'm gonna skip the lavender. You don't really have to put anything there. Oh, chili powder. The spice from the grocery store. That is always helped me. It relates to banishing and Saturn. Hi, Puff Daddy. Vanishing oil for sale. Yes, it is. You're welcome. And I always have free shipping, guys. I'm trying to get this going. I'm not on Etsy anymore. Okay. This might take, well, if you start it, say, after dinner, maybe 7 o'clock, and it's nearby, maybe you lay on the sofa to rest, or take it in the bedroom by your bed and lay there, and you're there, okay? So that's one way you can monitor, make sure it's in a safe place. If you start to hear any type of flame behavior, such as popping or hissing, that's actually a good sign that spirit has caught what it is. And you can also call in your spirit guides, whoever else you want to call in, ancestors who loved you, protective spirits. And thank you, Sacred Flame. We don't understand the Sacred Flame. We've forgotten it. It's actually a kind of intelligence, and it's a gateway to the spirit realm. Thank you, Spirit of Fire, for assisting me in this matter. And then relax. You've got to regulate your nervous system. Let it go to work. So when this is finished and you wake up in the morning, you can read whatever wax images might be left behind by spirit. And then you might want to message me or, try to interpret. If it's something bothersome, someone like me would normally do like a purification rite. So I kind of talked a little bit about that. So now you're ready to do the red one, which is to return all that to the senders. Now, if you don't have too big of a leftover candle wax images in the plate, you can put the red one on there. And if you feel like you need to spend another day interpreting the wax, then wait another day and then do the red one. So let's just say we're just going to do the red one. You want them to be the same length, whether it's 15-inch or 12-inch or 8-inch. I wouldn't go any smaller than that. The longer the burn, especially for a group of people, if you're saying it's a group, the better. El Hecate. I am a shamanic witch. Yes, but I'm primarily a mystic. I am a mystic first, and I'm working in the earth plane as a shamanic witch. Not Cinderella, no. Sabrina, the grown-up witch. I don't know why that's being held for review. It could be misunderstood. Is there a specific direction? No. If you're upset about this, guys, this is where you're going to harness your emotions in a proper, healthy direction. Your emotions are a good thing. If you put them to good use, you're going to use your emotions. All right, so now we've got this red candle, and if it hasn't been covered in plastic, you might want to first kind of smudge it with incense, or hold it for a second and, declare that any negative energy on that candle is cleared away. And then you're going to hold it and name the candle. Candle, I name you for returning back to the original source, the environmental chaos that has been sent to me, causing me problems, whatever it is. And I thank you for helping me. So now you're going to take your carving tool and you're going to put an arrow going up, because now we're returning it to the source, right? And this is getting embedded in your mind. And you're also going to write from, well, you can write from the top to the bottom. Return to senders, known and unknown. Return chaotic energy. Don't know if you need to say 3 times. Some people do. This is a pretty tall candle, so this might work as though you had a jumbo candle, which can equal 2 workings in one. So use your emotions, especially when you're going to anoint. This is my return to sender oil. I made a video demonstrating how I was making it last year. I believe it's also on my website. I'll check that tonight. But really, you know, your emotions are going to be the powerful catalyst for this, because you're emotionally invested in it. You got to protect yourself from this chaotic energy. I just learned recently that jealousy is an incredible poison, and it can really affect things in your life. I'm a lunar hearth witch of the tides. Okay. Sounds like you scry with fire and water. All right, so this one needs to be held for review. You don't watch my channel enough to know I work with angels. All right, I work with benevolent beings that are very, very protective. I can't answer that personal question. And this is about using your thoughts to send back chaotic energies. You know, magic is prayer with props. And I don't really enjoy a lot with YouTube. YouTube is not really a place anymore for spiritual channels. Okay? It's not a cult tube. It's not, you know, anything like that. So I'm putting myself out here at a risk in hopes trying to find, before I stop being on YouTube, 1 or 2 people who have, you know, listen to what I have to say and understand magic is prayer with props. And if you choose to live in a bubble and not believe that there are unseen forces in this world, and you can go to work and be in a chaotic environment and bring that stuff home. We don't understand why we're making decisions that we never made before. Why are we choosing to pay the rent late and have a late fee when that's something that we've never really done before? We're being affected by a lot of energy. So unless you're wearing a protective amulet of some kind and doing spiritual baths when you get home to get all of that energy off. And like I said, you know, there's certain cases where you seem to have a string of bad luck with your car, your dog, your yard, your environment. And when you recognize a pattern, I'm not doing very much with YouTube anymore. Like I said, they're really kind of starting to get rid of spiritual channels anyway. Thank you for saying blessed be. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, this is about using your will, which I think a lot of religions train us not to do. And for women especially, that's not good. So you're going to take the return to sender. You're going to anoint from the bottom up over all those words that you just carved in here. Return to sender. Return the chaos. And then light the bottom and let it burn. And so people that have not watched enough of my videos for 7.5 years, the recent one I made yesterday, day before, I showed the type of uncrossing cleansing work that I did on someone who came to me and asked for help. And I don't know what you would think about that. That doesn't have anything positive, because the person was helped. And then I've been working on myself, and I've been seeing things in the wax that show a cleansing and a clearing. I'm a survivor of narcissism. And if you don't know what that is, then, you know, it's... All right. I am going to be posting a photo of doing a return to sender for those, because I am a psychic healer, and have been doing this for so many years that Spirit is showing me, it is assisting me, it is showing me things that are left behind in the wax that need to be addressed, the energetic pattern of what has been going on, and then I need to do a prayer and a purification rite to dissolve that energy with the spirit of fire. This is a jumbo candle. And if you don't have a lot of severe things going on over and over, you can definitely work to do this yourself. Wow. Not sure they want me to open this thing. All right. How many of you are familiar with double action candles? Have you ever used one before? It's the same principle that I've been talking about. You first have to have the black to banish all the negative things, bring it in, and then return to sender is the safest type of thing you can do, guys. You're not trying to do any type of magic on someone to break up the group or confuse the group. It's very difficult, okay? Or bind someone. You're just sending it back to where it came from, back to the source. Can I reach you on your website? Yes, you can. For one or more, I think you're saying consolation. Yes, yes, you can. And I think that we could probably make an appointment to get on Zoom, or you can send me an email first, just with 1 or 2 sentences. Give me just a brief overview of what your problem is. All right. If you're having, let's say, a lot of issues with nightmares and seeing shadows and not being able to hold a job, then you need to go to a psychic healer who's very practiced in their craft, and have them really do a strong dissolution of all of that chaos for you. But if you feel that you're interested in doing this for yourself, then this came red on top, obviously, and black on bottom. What you're supposed to do to start the process is take a knife and butt off the red top. This is the first step in psychologically telling yourself you are flipping this situation. It's going to be in your favor. And then when you take the paper off the bottom, this one may not understand that I'm not going to use the candle this way. I have to kind of probably try to dig around here and find the wick. Now, some people do actually buy candles that are red on top and black on bottom. And it actually can work. It actually can. But traditionally, we would burn the black first, and then we would burn the red. All right? So after I got this to reveal the wick, then I would start carving what I've already told you. You want to make sure that what you're carving on the black is going to go down, so it goes down, and then arrow up. So you're going to carve for what's going to be going back out and away from you for your environment. This is not for your personal self if you're having issues where you need to have a clearing and an uncrossing. This is for your environment. That's what I wanted to make clear. All right, so you've carved it. You've anointed it with one oil here and the return to sender here. And you're going to put it in a safe place and be mindful of the candle burning. And this is probably going to take more than 3 hours. If it hisses, then you might have some arguments going on. But if it pops, then Spirit has located and it's working on your behalf. If it sounds like it's kind of whistling, then that's another indication of the negativity is being addressed. If you see black smoke coming out, which I have seen in the beginning of my practice years ago, it is releasing blocks. It is releasing negativity. So if you have a smoke alarm, you might want to make sure you crack a window or not have it too close to the smoke alarm. Hello, thank you. I'm watching you. Yes, hi. If a witch puts a binding spell on you, how does that manifest? Well, a binding is designed to make somebody feel like they don't want to do something. So either they want to stay at home a lot, or they just want to stop doing something in particular. So, but if you are practicing spiritual hygiene, you know, you're taking a spiritual bath and you're bathing with flower water and you're smudging yourself with sage and you're letting the essential oils in the diffuser burn at night, you're kind of protecting your aura. You are wearing a spiritual talisman of some kind for you, then that helps. Also, you know, when we realize that we really are more powerful than we give ourselves credit, yes, there are things that can happen. We can come into a time where we are down and lots and lots of energy at work is just too strong for us to deal with by ourselves. And so this is when I love to employ the spirit of the fire. I'm not going to light this candle now because I am going to use it for a photograph to put on my site tomorrow for a return to sender working for people that, for whatever reason, can't do it at home for themselves. They're either too upset or people don't like it. They don't really have confidence enough in doing it. And I will offer that for people. I have a family member who always runs their hands, when they are around me. They are insecure. And suddenly I feel pressure in my heart chakra. No. I don't know what they're doing, but I would definitely affirm your sovereignty. I am a divine being, and I do not give any power to whatever it is you're doing with your hands. Sounds to me like they're nervous. You know, I don't go and troll Christian sites. I don't know why the Christians have to come over here and troll me. It's bullying, guys. Spiritual bullying. I need to have somebody block this person. Fire. Got it. All right. Good. So now, one thing you could add on the bottom if you wanted to sprinkle something would be rosemary. God, right, or goddess, creator, has given us a lot of plants and herbs and spices on this planet with energies. You can call it spirit, you can call it energy, you can call it, we believe in that, you know, anime, everything has a spirit, everything has a name. And rosemary is very protective. Without interfering with messages that might be left by spirit in the wax, you can sprinkle a little bit of rosemary around the bottom of that candle. All right. So go and read my guidelines, please. You're violating my guidelines by spiritually bullying me, and I will report you. All right. Some of you, I think, need to leave. These remarks are not appropriate. William Kennedy, I don't know what you're saying. God does help us, yes. Light the candle already? What is that? Bullying. I've already explained. This is going to be used for a photograph for my website. I don't have half a dozen of these laying around. Get your own candle and light it yourself. All right, I thank those of you that came for the right reasons, asked questions, and listened. And I hope this has been helpful to you. And my link is in the bio. And also in the description, it says I have memberships, but I don't really have memberships right now. If you wanted to donate or support me over there, you can do that. There's a little support box. Also, I have Cash App, and the name of that is Sabrina. I'm Sabrina the Mystic. Sabrina, capital S. Sabrina Lakshmi. Okay. Lakshmi. Bless. Sabrina Lakshmi Bless. All one word. If you would rather donate to me on Cash App. Okay. I'm going to say with some compassion that you need to really stop listening. Don't take everybody's word for it, okay? I believe I've seen red candles burned in churches and at Valentine's Day. So I'm not going to get into that, guys. But, you know, a lot of things are designed to just keep us locked up and afraid to learn. And we really need to learn. And thank you so much. I have been following. Wow. Bless you. You've been watching me grow and go through stuff. Thanks for tolerating these trolls. Blessed be to you and not leaving us hanging. Okay. Hello, Earth, Water, Fire. Jung English. Okay. I believe you made an inappropriate message earlier. I don't know. Maybe not. Do you have a question? Do you have a quick question? It's basically all you need, okay? And if you don't have anything to anoint and you need to do it now, do it while your emotions are strong. You are directing them into a positive direction, right? You're not directing them to go and attack someone. Like I said, that's difficult anyway. So just focus on protecting your environment and send it back to the originator. All right. Thank you all. It looks like people have left. And, this goes with the territory. The more people you get to come to your videos or your lives, thank you for the heart. ChatGPT told me trolls are a sign that you are making, a new plateau, right? But I had on New Year's Eve someone offered to be a moderator. And so then I touched her name and I turned her into a moderator. It was Gemma. So I may have to try to figure out how to stay on top of this so that I don't have, it's like when I'm substitute teaching with kids, I don't tolerate the ones that are disrupting the classroom. I don't. I come from a very old-fashioned, no-nonsense type of environment. And my great aunt was a principal. Yeah, you've had 2, 3 warnings. I'm done. Right? That's for a child. They get 2 warnings, 2 strikes, you're out. And they go to the behavior specialist. I call the behavior specialist. I would try to moderate until you close YouTube. That's very nice. Earth, water, and fire. I don't see any questions. Did you have a question? Then I could turn you into a moderator if I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes. I think that at this stage of our existence on this planet, believe it or not, we're just now starting to really open up. And there are those of us that have already been opening up, and we are, kind of given the passion to start sharing. I think I'm ready. Okay. To email you. Okay, I believe it's on my coffee account. I would really love it if I would get more people to go over to my creator page. This is the thing. I'm trying to funnel the people that are really interested in what I have to say and teach to a more space where people, you know what I mean? A learning environment where people really want to be there, have more of like a membership. You're following over there. Maybe you're a supporter. If you become a supporter, I make a video for you over there. I post it. It's just for supporters for the month. You see what I mean? So like Patreon, I'm working to, yeah, exactly. A safe space for me and for those of you seriously interested without being disturbed by the others who are having bad behavior. I have engaged in a sorcery cult. Oh, many decades ago. I wish to learn more. All right. I don't know what you mean by cult. Was it like a coven? Okay. Thank you very much. Earth, Wind, and Fire, did you have a question before I say goodnight? If you can go over to my creator page, Ko-fi, Ko-fi, link in the bio. You'll see my oils, you'll see my posts, you'll see the section for supporter, and also under services, you will see what I have right now for the candle service. This one will be posted tomorrow. And if you become a supporter, then I'll make a video and list it just for supporters. All right. Oh, wonderful. Yay. Okay. There's a few followers over there right now. But yeah, this is what I'm trying to do. Move mainly over to the creator page. So everybody is there that wants to really learn. Okay. That's it for tonight. Maybe some people have just gotten some new information for the first time, understanding that thoughts are things and we can protect ourselves. We don't have to suffer. And magic is prayer with props. Namaste, blessed be. Until next time, take care. All right.